So I'm here today with Doug Cooke from McAfee. Doug, welcome to IT World. What are the key issues in security facing Canadian businesses?
The first one would be complexity. There just continues to be more and more complexity as you have more types of devices. We're all aware of the tablets coming in, mobile devices. That adds complexity. Instead of just having one OS, Windows operating system, and their server components to look after, now you've got two or three other systems to look after. That adds dramatic complexity. And we know the other aspect that's very important is around social media and the interaction through the internet that employees want to have. Companies are looking to encourage their employees and to allow their employees to use these technologies at work so that they can feel they're a part of community. People want to have access to these during their working day, but having that within the corporate environment is a difficult issue. There are security concerns in doing that. That adds extra complexity. So there's lots of areas where there's just more complexity that organizations have to deal with around security.
What should businesses be doing to address the security concerns?
Still, lots of organizations are really focused in thinking about security strictly from the IT department. They need to involve the business as much as they can. They need to go out to those business leaders and understand where their priorities are for the risks that need to be managed. Certainly, the IT department has to do the traditional, basics, firewalling, endpoint support, making sure their servers are up to speed on patching, and those sorts of things. Those are kind of the table stakes that need to be done. But from there, it's going out to the business and saying, where are the areas where we could really be at risk? How could hackers do things against us? Well, what are the assets that are most important to us? What are the things that could be taken from us? And you need to do that through a dialogue with the business leaders. The advantage of talking to the business leaders and doing that is that when you come back after designing systems to address their needs, you'll get their support from a financial perspective because you're taking into consideration the risks they've identified. So it's involving the business is a big thing that they need to be doing.
What are the biggest issues that businesses are missing or they're overlooking that they should be paying attention to from your experience?
Making sure they have proper expertise. And certainly the larger companies take the time and do the investment to have the right people. But when you get into the smaller companies, they don't have the expertise they need. So they either need to do it within their own organization or get the help of other organizations, maybe value-added partners, other organizations that have that expertise that can help them get over the hump and secure their organization. But getting the right expertise in place is a big deal.
BYOD came into a lot of organizations by breaking the rules.
I think BYOD is a huge issue, and all the companies that I'm talking to are dealing with that, absolutely. And it does start. I started a couple of years ago when the iPad came out, and daughters gave it to their executive fathers or mothers, and they brought it into business, said, "I want to use it," and the IT organization was on their heels trying to figure out how to accommodate it while securing the organization. And we really haven't progressed as far as I thought we would have in terms of handling BYOD. We really haven't gained the maturity that I had expected over a couple of years.
What are the three key items that businesses should be focused on in terms of security?
Well, the first is involve the business and make sure that the business is giving who's ever planning and deploying security advice on where the risks are that need to be attended to and providing the investment to do it. So first one is involving the business. The second one is making sure that you've got the proper expertise within the organization to be able to do it and maintain that. It's going to cost you a little bit more than the other IT individuals you have, so either do it internally or bring some resources outside. And then the third one I would say is understand that security is a journey. The security, the landscapes of security, we know that what hackers do change on a regular basis, what they're doing with the new technologies. These programs need to be attended to on a regular basis. You need to be looking at it every 3 to 6 months to see where your program's at, how it needs to adapt. When you put out an application, it probably is going to sit, you maybe look at it once a year to make sure things are okay. Security, you've got to be looking at it at a much more regular basis. So understand when you take on security, it's something you have to evolve over time and keep your eye on over time. So it's just that diligence. It's not a do it and forget it. It's a set a program, monitor it, and measure it and make sure you're doing what you want to be doing.
So thank you. Today, my guest has been Doug Cooke from McAfee, and we've been talking about security in the modern environment.